appreciate you guys joining me back today. I know it's been some time since I last made a video, so I wanted to make this as a follow-up. And what we wanted to follow up on our last video, we talked about implementing some security on your network, and we walked through installing pfSense. If you haven't saw it, just go back and take a look at my previous video. Today, I wanted to go through an install of IpFire, the open source firewall. This is, as you can see, I'm taking a look at the site here. It's a hardened firewall, secured based on security. It's open source. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to kind of show some of these installation videos, because although it's an open source platform, it's Linux, I don't want this stuff to be scary. It's pretty straightforward if you just kind of walk through the process, do the install. Even if you're a non-experienced Linux person, I want to walk through this stuff so you can see how simple it is just to get things up and running, especially those that are making a jump or trying to take a step into like an open source environment, open source world. So first thing you want to do, if you go to their site, which is www.ipfire.org, that's ipfire.org, you can go there, and you can download the latest ISO image install. I'm not going to we'll take a peek at some of the features. You can see which intrusion detection prevention system. You want those. Got plenty of add-ons, web proxy. These are just kind of some of the features that it shows on the website. You guys can check that out. But you go here. You want to click on the download link. So if you're here, you want to click on the download, and so most of your system, most folks should be running like a 64-bit architecture or computer. So you want the ISO image for that. See, it's not too large. You can download that. Hit download, and that'll get your image going. You either need to, once you've got it downloaded, you can either put that onto a flash drive or thumb drive and boot to your, if you got a bare bones type of system, you can use that to set that up. For the purpose of this video, we are going to be installing this into a virtual environment using VirtualBox. I think I already got it downloaded here somewhere. I gotta remember where I put it at. Do I not have it? I might have to re-download it maybe. So, I guess I thought I had it. Let me take a look here. Here we go. All right. So I might have to run updates on mine, but that's okay. So I've got that there. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna get this. Am I tripping here? Oh, I am. It's saved. Let's discard. There we go. So I'm just navigating. So I loaded up VirtualBox here. Let me show you what I'm doing here. So I got my VirtualBox up. If you don't have a machine created, you can create a machine here. But I've got a machine created. I'm going to go into my settings, and I'm just going to select storage, and then the storage device. This is your optical disk drive, and then I'm going to navigate to my ISO image for that firewall for IpFire. Got that. There's IpFire full core. Open that up. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to boot this. We'll say start. Oh no, I don't want to start that. I gotta start it from here. So let's go back here. Let me get our environment up. I'm running this in GNS3. GNS3 is also a virtualized networking environment you can use. So this is what we're running in our lab. Let me start up a few of these devices here, and we'll start you up. You know what? Let me go back and make sure on here the network is okay. That's good. All right, now let's start you up. Start. As long as we don't have any issues. Okay, throws you up over there. That's fine. So here's our initial screen here for IpFire. Let me move some of this stuff around here. So here's your IpFire.org. You want to install IpFire is what we want. So we're going to hit start. And this is going to initialize the kind of the installation. So this is all the basic kind of initial setup stuff. You want to select your language. We welcome to IpFire. You want to, following screen, reboot the computer. So we want to start the install. You want to accept the license. Okay, there we go. Accept that, and then okay. Alright, we want to delete all data, and you can select your file system here. They got a few different ones. We're gonna select ext4 file system. And as soon as not acting right with me here. Okay, here we go. So we want you ext4. Okay, now it's going to partition the disk. You want to, this is a device that, if you take a look at my kind of virtual infrastructure here, so imagine this is here as your modem, your service provider, and what we've done is we've placed our firewall between our modem, and if we have a network switch that has, you know, other connected devices, if you got like a network printer or other connected workstations. So traffic will go from here, hit our firewall. Firewalls are our first line, our defense system here. It will, you know, as far as intrusion prevention and setting up access via different ports. And then once this is set up, this will serve as running our DHCP client, this is our DHCP server. So once we get it booted up, we'll be able to load up our web client here, get access, and we'll test and make sure we have internet access from there. Which we, if my memory serves me right, out of the box, once you get this up and going, I believe you should have internet access right out of the box. With some, you can. I know on some ISP provider modems, you may have to, if you want that kind of WAN port access to the firewall, you can set your modem up into like a bridging mode, where it'll bridge this interface. Actually, will look like kind of like, you know, this is the WAN interface like this. So that's installing. Got a little time. If you want to go get your little break, go grab you something to drink, that's cool. Come back in a few minutes. This should be done. It's at the bootloader, which probably looks like the last portion of that, but we'll let it roll there. So once we get this going, and this is a really good firewall to have. I've been checking out. I try to stay on top and keep up with a lot of the security, you know, because that's the biggest thing out there online now is a lot of all the security threats. Um, you know, I try myself to make sure I try to stay, have a good defense set up. So that's done. We're going to reboot. And okay, so it comes there. This is our grub boot screen. Now go ahead. It'll boot up by itself if you let that, but I hit the up down arrow to kind of cut the timer off. So this is going to boot up. Okay, we got some initial stuff we're going to do here. Set up the keyboard, our time zone, which I'm in. You're going to go to wherever country and you're from. We're U.S., so I'm U.S. and I'm on the West Coast. So this is where you're going to give it a name. I'm going to leave it as the default IpFire. You can change it to whatever host name you want to go from there. Okay. Enter domain name. You can leave it at that. I'm going to give it the domain of my lab here. Okay, do that. Okay, you're going to give your root account a password. Okay, once that's in place, okay, you're going to give a password. This is for the administrative web admin page. Alright, so here we go. Current config, red plus green. So this is where you're basically setting up your the network kind of configuration for your firewall. So here, network configuration type, you hit OK, and it'll show you here. Let's see here. Green, the red. Typically the red. I think the green is your LAN interface. The red is the WAN interface. So we're going to leave that okay. Drivers and card assignment. So we're going to go here. Now this is where you actually set your interface. So this is where you're setting what interface on the firewall is your outward facing or the WAN, which one is the interfacing, the LAN interface. So we're going to go green. So I'm kind of taking a guess. I should have looked in some, but I think the green one, I think the top one is my WAN. Either if it doesn't work, I can switch it. So let's go there, and then our red, which gives us our last one. Go there. Okay, then once you've got those set, you'll hit done. Go to address settings, and address for the WAN. Excuse me. Address for the WAN. Okay. Oh, I think I might have them backwards. So cancel. Red. Okay, so the red. So our red interface is actually the WAN interface. The red one is the WAN, so which we're going to put on DHCP. DHCP host name is good. Okay, IP address for the red interface. IP address. Okay, it's on DHCP. Okay, now let's go back red and then green. Okay, and we're going to say will be for our local network, which will be the network that our DHCP server will distribute IP addresses from the firewall. So let's give it an address here. We'll say 192.168. We'll say 90.1. You can create your own IP address. I'm just trying to kind of coming up with something off the top of my head here just for the purpose of this lab. Once you're done, you're going to done that. So the red is, we'll see what we got here. DNS and gateway. So you want to do a primary DNS, which will be we'll make the firewall. Or you can, whatever DNS addresses you want to give. I'm going to do my DNS server. We're going to make this the firewall 192.168.90.1, and we're going to give it a 8.8.8.8. That's Google's, and then we're going to do 192.168.90.1 because the firewall is going to serve as my DHCP as well as the default gateway and our DNS for everything that's here on our network. So we've got that set. Once you've got that set, hit OK. Alright, then you're going to hit done. I may and or may not have my cards backwards, but we'll see what we got here. Once you do that, let's hit done. Okay, configure the DHCP server. Then this is going to be the server, the DHCP server that's going to be distributing IP addresses to your devices on your network. If you already have a DHCP server, disregard this step. But for the purpose of this video, we're setting the firewall up. It's going to be our DHCP server, our default gateway, etc. So you want to enable that. You're going to tab our starting IP address. So remember, we already have the default gateway of the firewall was set as the 192.168.90.1, which is our DNS as well. So our start address has to be the first available octet after 90.1, which is 90.2. So we're going to make this 192.168.90.2, and our ending IP address, broadcast address, is the address ending in 255. So we're going to, and you can end this at whatever ending address you want to, but I'm going to use the full range for the Class C, which is 192.168.0.254. Okay, secondary DNS, we're going to put in that Google 8.8.8.8. Our domain is in there, our lease, default lease minutes, all that. We'll leave that default. We'll hit OK. Setup is complete. It's going to set up the firewall, and if my interfaces are correct, which I'm keeping my finger, I hope I got them right. I should have checked that. I forgot it. You have to do that. So that's one thing to check. Make sure you know either the MAC address, the interfaces, the two interfaces that you're going to set up as the WAN and as the LAN. So okay, I got them right. As you can see, scrolling down, I got an IP address. Scroll pretty fast there, but look like I grabbed an IP address from our modem, which gave us our IP address from our ISP. So it says we got, let me see what we got going on here. Alright, so let's see what we got. Now that that's up, I can log in. Let me see. Starting unbound DCP lease bridge, DCP server failed. So that's concerning. That's a little concerning. Let me log into here and see, make sure that I got my interfaces correct. Okay, 90.1. Okay. Well, red. So this is the red. Let's do this so we know what we got here. We're gonna say red and green. Alright, so this over here is our red interface and this is our green. I'm gonna ping, let's do this here. See if our firewall is getting out. Okay, that's a successful ping coming from Google's DNS. So we're going from here, our firewall's going out past our IP, getting out there to the World Wide Web. Okay, now let me open up this. This is our web client. WAN and LAN interface configured. Your reboot. Open up your web browser. You're going to navigate to the IP address. This will be a secure connection. So it'll have a self-signed certificate, which will pop up like this, kind of in your browser if you're using Firefox, which that's what this is. So you put the IP address in of the the firewall, colon, and then the port number, which is 444. So HTTPS : / the IP address of the firewall on the LAN side, and then colon the port number 444. So you're going to confirm exception, and it's going to prompt you to log in as the administrator, and you're going to put in the password that you created earlier on the setup for the administrator, the root and admin. Okay, and there we go. We are in there. As you can see, here's our IP address, our internet on the internet side, and our host is the gateway DNS server, and then here's our network on the LAN side. Okay, and as you can see here, it's got a nice interface here. You can go through and set up. You can take a look at the status as far as memory system, VPN network. So let's take it. Let's say external. This will give you a look at the traffic coming off the external interface, how long it's been up, various things like that. Here under network, you can go in, adjust the DHCP server settings here. So if you want to make changes to that, the scope, they've got your options here. You can set fixed leases, so permanent addresses if you want to assign there. Scroll up, so we got DNS forwarding. What do we got here? What are we looking at? Services. Okay, here we go into services. You got your, basically you got dynamic DNS, your VPN. This is your dynamic DNS. So if you use if you have a DNS provider and you are pointing your DNS to your server, it's got various different DNS providers on here. A lot of different various ones. You should have be using one that might be on this list. If it's not, then you might not be able to use that. Okay, if you go back up, services, here we've got VPN Ipsec services. Here you can go in here, set up for your VPN, which you'll have to go down here, create your certificates and services for your CA. Scroll back up. Let's go to firewall. Here's where you can kind of go in, and this is the kind of the meat and guts here. You go in and you can create firewall rules based on, you know, source MAC address or GeoIP from a certain country. If you want to block a certain country, put a rule there. Destination, protocol, what you're looking for. So for example, if you want to say, like, you want to block anything coming in from, let's say, I don't know, I'm going to scroll down here, and let's say you got some sneaky stuff going on from China or something. Like, here, you go here, select that, excuse me, rule destination. You could put the IP address or the destination. So if you got a, like, let's say your current network or an IP address of the server, you go in here 192.168.30.1. I don't want you coming in there. You could put specific, or you could say destination firewall. Everything that hits there gets blocked. So or go in here, we want a destination of that IP, and you can go in here. If it's a specific protocol, you can go in here and adjust that, or you can just say everything. And what you can say what you want to do. You can either flat out reject it, or anything coming in, you can drop those packets. You know, these are your two defense sections here: dropping and rejecting. And obviously you can go down here, specify some log and other additional settings. So, and then, so for example, we did that, and then we add. So now we've got this on any protocol coming from this GeoIP source IP address destination, and we want to, let me make sure that's any source destination. We want a protocol destination, and we want to drop, or we want to reject anything coming from there. So let's update that. So firewall rules, here we go, bam. And if you want to log these, activate, deactivate the log there. So you go here. That's pretty much it. I mean, you can go in here. Here's the intrusion detection. You can turn this on. The intrusion, it uses Snort, which is an open source intrusion detection system. You can go in here. You can say let's say on the WAN interface, go in here, and you basically want to snort community-based rules. There's some stuff that does require a subscription, but you can. There are some community-based rules here. Okay, what do we got here? What did I do here? Okay, you want to save. Okay, rule set updated. So now you've got the intrusion prevention system open. Intrusion prevention system. Okay, community rules. So you're using the community rules, which you can click on and you can kind of see what those are. But this will set up a intrusion prevention system that'll help kind of prevent any malicious attacks. So here are all the community rules that you can see. Take a look at that it observes and looks at. It's a pretty well versed list, and you can go in here and select what you want. You can select any of this stuff that you want to add add to your kind of your vectors. And you do that. Click what you need, and let me scroll. Where's my save button at? Or so you kind of get what you need, and find what you're looking for. Once you do that, hit update, and it's going to update the it's kind of the signatures for your intrusion prevention system. So it's a lot on here, so you can kind of take a look at that, and you can do it on the green side as well, which is your LAN interface. Here's Openvpn if you want to set up a VPN. I think I showed you this earlier. Let me scroll down here. What do we got? So you got static routes. You can edit the host name, captive portal, URL filter. It's got a web proxy on here. See the net traffic. You can actually take a look at your interface traffic. I mean, this is very, very intuitive, very nice. Gives you an overall view, traffic-wise and system-wise. You can get VPN stats. You can set up SSH access, mail service if you want to have like activate the mail service, and this will like be able to like send you alerts. You can kind of set up an alerting kind of system here. So if I hit enable, so here you are. You put in, kind of configure your mail sender, server address, things like that, credentials that you need to set that up for your firewall to send out alerts. Here's logging. You can take it the IDS logs, firewall logs, the basic system logs. So this is basically it. This is IpFire in a nutshell. You see, it's quite a bit to it. I'm not going to go into every little kind of interface detail, but you kind of have an idea. I wanted to walk you through basically kind of getting this up and going, so you can see that it's not a huge beast of an install to do. You know, it's not nothing totally confusing. It's just like any other kind of software type of install. You walk through, you set up the configuration. As long as you kind of understand what interfaces that you're working with, things like that, you should be fine. You know, if you like the video, please like and share this video. Leave your comments in the comment field below. Don't forget to hit that notification button, so you'll be notified when I kind of do any of my videos and post and share information that kind of help out the IT folks in the IT community. I hope you like the video. Like I said, hit the like, share, subscribe. Don't forget, hit up my website, check me out for any IT support needs, whatever you need. I'll connect with you remotely. We do on site. We also do training as well. That's www.bewit.net. That's BEAWIT.net. Next time you're looking for some help, support on any of your IT stuff, ask yourself who you be with. I'm JC. I'm out. I'll see you in the next video. All right. Peace.